Hey, good afternoon and welcome all you aviation lovers. It is Captain T with the Pilot to Pilot Network. Hey, thank you for coming back for part 2 of Flying the Screamin' Eagle with me. I'm touched. Hey, today we're going to talk about startups, taxis, takeoffs, climbs, descents, pattern work, and landings. Whew, big day. Get in, buckle up, hang on, and come on along and be my co-pilot. We're gonna have a great time. Hey, from the cockpit, Captain T. We're going flying. It's gonna be the greatest fun you ever had in your life with your clothes on. Hey, we're doing a primer on how to fly complex airplane. Of course, good technique would indicate that we always try to taxi really close to the center line or the taxi line. That assures that the wingtips stay clear of any obstructions off the edge of the runway. So, you know, if you're a consummate pilot, and you're really working to be the best you can be, you should be working on that center line, both on the runway for takeoff and landing, as well as the taxiway as you make your way around the airport. So we're going to taxi to the end of 30 here, do a little run up. I apologize for the sun angle. It's getting low already this afternoon, and it's going to be in my face part of the time. So, yeah, I'll take it. You know, I had 6 months of winter when we didn't see the sun, so good stuff for today. Okay, so I hope you can see all right. See the entire panel. You got a little sun in your face right now, but everything is here. So we've been running the airplane, so being that it's fuel injected, we need to do a hot start, which is a bit of a scientific enigma. Too much fuel, it won't start. Not enough fuel, it won't start. Way too much fuel, it backfires. Mufflers are expensive when it backfires. So we try not to do any of that. Being that it's hot, I shouldn't need to boost it. This is a boost pump switch right here. I shouldn't need to boost it because it just shut down. So what we do is we open the air all the way, retard the mixture all the way. So we're not giving it any more fuel, and it's got plenty of air to mix with the fuel that's in the lines. So the master is on. I put my hand on the mixture control lever, and once things start, we'll add fuel gently and then retard the throttle. Here we go. And that, boys and girls, is a hot start. I'm the hot start king. Radios are coming on, everything's gonna light up. I retarded the mixture just a little bit on the ground. No, we did not buy fuel. The airplane runs a little rich in warm air, especially. It's kind of warm today. It's got to be 65, maybe almost 70. So we don't want the airplane to stumble and stagger and run warm all the time, or run rich all the time. So we retard the throttle a little bit. Normal procedure here. We're going to do a run up. We check the magnetos. This is a magneto switch over here. Get a little drop over there. Check the other magneto. Not much difference. Those should be within 50 or 75 RPMs of each other. So there's both magnetos. There's one magneto off the line. There's the other magneto off the line. Boy, nice and tight. We also check the prop to make sure that it's going to cycle properly. That would be this lever right here. Pull that out, changes the prop pitch. You see the resulting change in RPMs over here. So here we are, pilot types, ready for takeoff. I remember when I first transitioned to high performance airplanes, it just seemed like everything happened all at once. And you want to get away from that mindset. You've already checked everything on the ground, you've done the proper checks. Now you're going to concentrate on the takeoff. You're not going to worry about anything else, just the takeoff. So as we pull out here onto the center line and get ready, we're going to line up and we're going to stop. And we're going to do a final check. The DG needs to get adjusted a little bit. Altimeter's good, blue over brown. This guy's working. Radios are all set, breakers are in. Everything is okie dokie. So we set the flaps for takeoff. Trim is set for takeoff. The boost pump comes on. All we got to do now is take off. So we'll advance the throttle a little bit. Brakes come off, heels on the floor. We check, pressure, good to go. Airspeed's alive, on the center line, good to go. Positive rate, we are through 80 knots right now. We got a good positive rate. The usable runway is gone. The gear is coming up. Right after that, the flaps are coming up. When the flaps come up, there's a pitch change, so you got to change a little nose down trim in there. We are at 90 knots climbing. We're going to get the power back to climb power, which is 26 squared. It's 26 inches of manifold pressure and 2,600 RPMs. So here we are, climbing out, normal climb, we're at 100 knots.
Thanks, Jimmy County, 165 Yankee X-ray, have you in sight. Coming in on your final there, I'll be crossing over midfield to 2100.
That's all there is to it, boys and girls. Another successful takeoff, 500 feet above the ground. Anytime you can make a turn. The boost pump comes off. We're all done climbing. We're plenty of altitude now.
Traffic Cherokee 20 Juliet is left base.
We don't need to worry about the boost pump anymore, so off she goes. That's all there is to it, boys. Hey, we're back after a fabulous trip around the area, looking out the window, enjoying the sunshine today. Sometimes that's all you need, a little shot of sunshine. We are on our way back into home base. You get your scorecards ready, you can judge the landing. And so back into the pattern. Hey, the traffic pattern here at home base is about 2,000 feet. So we're going to enter a left downwind for 30, which means you probably won't see, well, you might see the runway from the belly cam. It'll be on our left side. And we're at about 2,000 feet, showing about 2,100 now. We throttled back just a little bit. We're down to 20 inches of manifold. It's about 4 inches lower than normal. But we got to get down over here. Gear out speed is 130 knots. So what we're doing is we're positioning ourselves so that we don't exceed gear out speed. I'm going to take just a couple more inches off there. We're about 18 inches of manifold pressure now. RPM stays steady at 24. That's just cruise power, no problem. And you notice the speed came down to 120. Hey, we're not going to tax that gear one bit. We are now midfield left downwind for 3-0. When we cross a beam, the numbers outbound, that is the numbers for 3-0, our touchdown zone, going to the left wingtip, we'll go ahead and put the gear out. We're well below gear out speed, so we're not gonna bend anything. And there goes the end of the runway, so there goes the gear handle, and the gear is popping out right now. Gear unsafe, gear down. I'll check down here for a visual, gear down. Looking good. I'll take another notch of flaps into turn. We're on left base. Trim, trim, trim. We're showing about 85 now. That's plenty. Power comes back one more time, back down to about 12 inches. The pump is running, mixture's rich. We can push the prop in at this point. I'm going to take that power all the way out because I don't need it. A little bit of trim, the rest of the flaps. They have deceptive speed, these Moonies. They're slower than they look. There's the turn to final. 7 Delta Mike is final, 3-0 Hastings. Great speed. We got about 73, 74 knots. I'm looking right at the end of the runway, and it's not moving. It's getting bigger, but it's not moving. It's not going under us. It's not going over us. It's getting bigger. That means we're right where we belong on the glide slope. Speed is about 70. That's outstanding. We don't want more than that. We got just a little crosswind from the left. So I'm going to stick with the 70. Till we get down here a little closer, and now right about here I'm going to start to break it off with a little trim. We're at 65. Runway's getting bigger now. Runway is in sight. We're over the threshold. 60 knots. And all we do is hold it off and wait on the center line. Wait, wait, wait. There's the touchdown. Nose comes down. Landing complete. Nice job. So glad you came along to see that. Little cleanup going on. Now ATP standard, airline transport pilot standard, is never touch anything till you come to a full stop. That's probably a really good idea. Especially if you fly multiple airplanes, because sometimes switches and levers and things are in different locations. Just like we've been doing since I first learned to fly, the routine for shutting down the airplane is the same as it always was. Radios go off. That's the switch down here. Radios are off. Mixture comes out. Engine dies. Mags go to cold. And the master turns off. So long.
Well, there you go, boys and girls. Absolutely everything you ever wanted to know about herding a complex aircraft around the sky. It ain't rocket science. They're all about the same. Newer ones got more glass, more bells and whistles, but airplanes is airplanes. Hey, we're awful glad you came along, and we hope you learned a little something today. Join the fun on Facebook at Facebook/Pilot2Pilot Network. And you YouTubers, we love you. Send us your comments and punch that big red subscribe button for us. We love it when that happens. Hey, till next time, Captain T. So long.